I'm one of the leads at Point, and today I will be teaching you how to become a good competitive programmer. So I will be referring to as competitive programming as CP in short, okay? So we start with, so everyone knows what is DSA? Can you raise your hands? Okay, nice. So everyone knows what is DSA. Anyone already knows what is CP? Okay, quite a few. So CP is just like your DSA, but basically you are given a 2-hour time frames, around 5 to 6 persons, and you are competing with all over the world, around 30,000 people, and you are competing to see who solves the most persons in the least possible amount of time and the most optimal way. So this is what CP is. Now you may be wondering why we should do CP. Like DSC is already there. Why should I take the trouble to find 2 hours, compete with the whole world for no reason? Well, there are quite a few reasons. If you already know that in interviews there are it is around 45 minutes, and for entry rows there are 3 to 4 DSA rounds, and there in 45 minutes you have to solve at least 2 questions. So time is a very big factor here. And many people are able to solve the questions, but not in this given time frame. That's what CP teaches you. You are able to solve questions faster in the most optimal way and are able to debug them very easily. Increases your problem solving skills a lot. Like people who do CPR, way leagues ahead than people who only do DSA. And CP has been becoming more and more required. Previously it was a bit optional, but now it's not, because we all know what the current market condition is. The hiring is very low, so that's why they have raised the bar. That's why doing CP will help you stand out of the crowd, because the competition is huge. So now we know like why we should do CP. It will help us easily crack interviews, OL, and even the PV equipment that is coming is basically almost like a CP contest. So yeah, we have weekly contests happening there. So from there it's a good way to start doing CP. So some platforms you must have already heard about lead code, CodeCell, Code is your mind, right? So these are some good platforms to start. There are contests happening weekly there. Like tomorrow only there will be a contest at Courses. So that's a good time to start with. So now how to practice for this contest? Like because problem solving is not something you get good at once. So it takes a lot of time. You must have been preparing for equipment for a lot of time. So you already know that solving each question takes time. So the best way to practice, I feel, is from CodeCell and Courses. Like you go there, because the problems are rated as a number. Instead of lead code where it's just easy, medium and hard, there's a wide range of difficulty, because every problem is rated as a number. So start with easy ones, solve easy ones. If you like, at first you will find them difficult, but as you solve it will get easier. So then you move to higher level difficulty. Like you start with 800. You move to 1000, then 1100, 1200, and linearly you will feel that you are improving. It will take time. For me, it took like 3 to 4 months to finally start getting good at CP. It's a slow process. So, and you must be already, and you must have already. How many of you have ever given a contest in WhatsApp, in PVSL? we are quite like connect TVS regularly. Okay, so a few of you, so a few of you have already given a lot of purpose. So I will say tomorrow is a good time to start. Now some tips and tricks on how to actually practice, because there are people who solve 1,000 questions, 2,000 questions, yet they are not able to do it. The problem is that how you are practicing is a key factor. So initially, like you start solving the problem, you may not be able to solve it after 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It is normal. So one strategy I personally follow, which is to first go to the editorial, read around 2 to 3 lines, and in those 2 to 3 lines I usually get a hint. So use that hint to think again about the question. You may get the solution, you may not. So if you get it, then very nice. If you are not, then read rest of the tutorial. And that's how you practice. Practice seeing the solution and then just directly copy pasting it is not solving. And that's what many people do. Getting to that problem solving is a tough process. It's hard. It takes time. But that's what separates you from the crowd. That's what makes you stand out in front of the big companies like Google, Microsoft. Now we all know what is CP, why we should do CP, how to do CP, how to get good at problem solving. So now there is one more thing that there is in CP, which is ICPC. So it's an international contest for competitive programming. So basically, it happens around once a year, and there you have to form teams of 3 to compete in a global stage in this competition. There are levels like you qualify the prelims, you go to regionals, you go to Asia West, and then world finals. If you are able to progress in this field, then you stand out for different companies. And other companies like Quant, if anyone doesn't know what Quant is, these are companies which pay 1 crore plus base easily to freshers. And ICPC is one of the only ways to get into this field. If you are able to make it far, like Asia West regionals, it's a pretty high level. So then you get easily into these companies in Quant. You can easily get into Google. And these companies basically becomes a cakewalk for you. Because the number of people who manage to achieve success is very less. In Queensland, we every year go for ICPC. We make sure we send at least 1 to 2 teams in the regionals. This year also, we will be sending 1 to 2 teams for the regionals. So that's all it takes to get good at comparative programming, DSA, and problem solving in general. So if anyone has any doubts about how to get good, any equipment tips, because the equipment is basically a CD components. No? Okay, so thank you all for listening.